Okay. We're just gonna distract her. Bye. Who the devil are you? Tell your masters I prefer to talk to them directly. That's kinda rude. At least the pets don't revere you, so you can still steal. Stealing is fun. I just hope he doesn't come down again. It surprises me. Yeah, we steal the brief history of Cyseal so we can read it without fearing that we are discovered. But let's just try to wear some of the armor we found. Alright. It's glowing. A Brief History of Cyseal by D.R. Galante. Though Cyseal's borders have shrunk considerably in modern times, ours was once an expansive kingdom of economic and strategic importance in the region of Endeavourley. Unembroiled in external politics, Cyseal was free to expand from sea to sea and to the borders of Lucular Forest, where legendary and mysterious magicians are said to reside. Why, then, did Cyseal fall? First, trade. As the old kingdoms grew, Cyseal's ports became less central to trading routes. But most importantly, Cyseal's history of a small and homogeneous population meant that its cultural importance faded as more diverse nations grew. Capital that featured elvish musicians and dwarvish meat thrived, while Cyseal's trade stagnated. Still, Cyseal is the seat of a significant cultural importance. Home of the last Source King, the catacombs of Cyseal are famed for their beauty and their supposed preternatural activity. In recent times, the leaders of Cyseal are seeking to reinvigorate her economy. Fertile farmlands are being utilized at full capacity by the incentivized sale of lands to experienced farmers. Cyseal's future shines brightly indeed. Okay.
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
Yeah, Grandma.
If only the popular girls from the Source Academy could see
Okay,
how
if she says it
edgy and
every time,
dangerous you've
I will
become.
unequip it. Otherwise, it's kind of fun.
If only the popular girls from the
Yeah,
Source
come on.
Academy could see how edgy and dangerous you've become.
The Adventurer's Field Guide. A true survivor can create weapons from what he finds in the wild. A tree branch deals some damage, sure, but a few nails lodged into the end will really drive the point home. If you prefer stabbing from a safe distance, drive a dagger into the end of the thing. So you get a lance. Oh. Yeah, I think going in here is not a wise idea. Back again. Okay, then let's just see what's upstairs.
What? Oh, yes. This library is the jewel in Cyseal's crown. The beacon of culture and learning in our fair city.
Did he just wait for like, I don't know how long?
Encyclopedia Demonium. I know it by heart.
My Victoria has every volume you could possibly imagine, and she's got every speck of information about this place packed into her brilliant brain. Yes, Victoria's come a long way from that little bundle of claws and teeth I adopted so long ago. It brings a tear to my eye just seeing her here among her beloved books. What? Oh,
Like an
yes,
adopted
yes.
daughter?
I'll be on my way back downstairs now. Please introduce yourself. I know Victoria will be happy to make your acquaintance.
Dating of a man. Not one specific. It's just an example. There we have another history of Cyseal. They seem to like that one.
Place this book here.
Yeah, and here we have Jahan. If you watched my Divinity Original Sin 2 Let's Play or played it yourself, you will know that name.
Most omnes autem mali demonis quam. What? What is this? Who are you to interrupt my musings? By Naga the Protector, they have the manners of boors, these boatmen of Cyseal. Oh, but perhaps I spoke too soon. Perhaps I was mistaken, for you hardly resemble the local fisher folk, which, incidentally, is a compliment of copious dimensions indeed.
Thanks.
No, a source hunter.
Oops.
That is what you are. Yes, a stalker of sorcery, a chaser of charms pernicious. In truth, I cannot go so far as to say it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, for I take no pleasure in the company of man. But it may just be to our mutual advantage to join forces nonetheless.
Is that an edgy remark that he prefers to be alone? Or did he just say he's straight? Well, whatever. Why exactly would you want to join forces?
I would tell you my reasons, but it seems rather pointless to do so, seeing that quite clearly there is no room left in your band of adventurers for an additional champion. A pity, really.
Yeah, as you maybe guessed already, that's the Enchanter I talked about. So,
Place this book here.
Bairdotr, you are a nice companion, but let's me take your equipment first, before I dismiss you.
In this library?
Anything inside here? This is a backpack. Quite pricey.
Demonology for dumbbells.
You say you will take me under your wing. But I see no feathers. Are you a child of the birds, as I am of the bears?
Let's do the dialogue anyway. I mean, we can't exit it. Child of the bears? What does that mean exactly?
No, this isn't a
And so
grimoire.
the lonely babe was fed upon the wild mother's milk, and cast aside from humankind, he thrived among his mother's ilk. So says the saga of Threes. Do you know it?
Who?
The wise godwolf Amira raised the child Threes among her litter. So you see, I have good company. Threes the wolfson, and I the Bairdotr.
I meant that I would be responsible for you. I will keep you out of trouble.
In truth, this is a relief. Your world is made with rules I have not yet memorized. I am happy to have a friend in such a place.
Dumbbells.
Bairdotr, I need you to leave the party for
Something
now.
more advanced.
Fine, my friend, but I will stay far away from the screech woman.
Very
Perhaps
wise.
among the crowd at the alehouse is best.
Kaboof. Bye bye.
Demonology for dumbbells.
Ah. Victoria is an
Sometimes I
orc.
think these books scrapped at the legs in the night.
Interesting choice for an adopted daughter.
Too. Most promising.
Okay, Jahan.
The Source Hunter. Have
Yeah,
you come
yeah,
to
yeah.
your senses?
Why
Have
would you want to
changed
join
your
forces?
mind? Are you ready? Why? Simply because you hunt Source, and I, Jahan, hunt demons. You are aware, of course, that quite often both of these pests frequent the same shadowy pools of infamy. Now, I hate what I hunt, but I respect its cunning. Should I not, I'd have been decimated, body and soul, long since. This is a sentiment I'm quite certain you must recognize. Let there be strength in cunning, yes, but also in numbers. The calculus of wizardry I offer you, the might of the magician's mastermind.
At least he seemed very confident in his abilities.
Esmeralda does
On
have
one condition. That on our joint travels we will never deal with demonic entities, no matter how tempting their propositions. Give me your word on this, and I'll weave you spells.
I think that's an okay-ish condition.
Esmeralda does have a propensity for all
Very
things.
well. There will be no deals with demons.
I'm not sure if she would say something different if we then argue again, and then maybe you can't take him with you, so... Well, I think Scarlett wouldn't be completely opposed.
The brief history of
Let's
sorcery
agree.
still hasn't been returned.
Agreed.
Rivellon will have
Nothing good ever came from bargaining with those devils anyway.
Most gratifying.
Hi there.
I see
Thanks
you
for
are
raiding.
firm of purpose and thereby ready to descend. Descend into the madness that is sorcery, into the depths where demons dance. Gladly shall I follow you into the abyss. Onward, blood and triumph await.
Gladly shall I follow you into the abyss is quite some commitment, I would say. And thanks for following. Let's see what Jahan can do. He can do some blacksmithing and crafting for us, which is nice.
But where's the third one gone?
And or the healing and shocking.
Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the neck.
Okay. One step closer to our desired party. Is she going to talk about the ceiling?
Another perfect heist. You sneak with the subtlety of a tried and true cat burglar.
One will have to pay yet another fine.
How's the stream going, my friend? I really like it. I really like Divinity. Just played and finished the second one, I think 2 weeks ago. And the first one is really nice and funny.
Why, thanks. I rather do, don't I? Ha! A few more heists and I'll be a fat cat in no time.
No doubt about it. Your easygoing sleight of hand impresses me greatly, and will certainly continue to be highly advantageous to us both.
Yeah, I think it's decided we'll steal everything that's not nailed down.
Where's the
Even
third
without a
one
rope
gone?
so far.
Shut so. Sometimes I think these books sprout little legs in the night.
Philosophy of Death. I have to say, I'm a bit confused that there are... I mean, it's a library, but even reading the books is prohibited. It's a weird concept.
In the name of Amun-Hor, I bid thee Tujda Getahal, be welcome, human. My library is yours, as I hope your friendship is mine.
I'm really enjoying this. I finished streaming it. Oh, nice! That sounds really cool. The first one, you mean? Who did you take along for your companions? Oh, she seemed very nice, especially for an orc. Who are you, madam?
I am Victoria, daughter of Mayor Cecil. Oh, I know what you're thinking. The likeness isn't exactly striking, is it?
Not that much.
When I was very young, you see, I must have been cast out by my tribe, for I was found in a wicker basket floating past Cyseal toward the sea. The fisherman who found me would have drowned me on the spot, for I am an orc after all. But praise be Amun-Hor, dear Cecil was among the gathered crowd, and he took pity on the exiled infant that chance had put in his way. He raised me like I was his own, this kindest of souls, taught me the language of men, their customs and their letters. Thus, I became the city's librarian, a position I uphold with no small diligence and pride.
I think one of the very few orc librarians there are. Ah, you can ask her. I think that maybe allows reading them. May I take books from the library?
Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hoard is yours to peruse and even take with you. All I can ask is that you return the books you borrow so that others may enjoy them too.
Oh. Thanks. I have a 6-man party mod, so I can take all of them, but usually it's Wargraff and Bairdotr. Ah, nice.
Volume 1.
Yeah, I played it
Volume
once
2.
already, and back
Where's
then
the
I took
third
Madora
one
and
gone?
Bairdotr.
Shut
But I played with a friend, so
Sometimes I think
each
these
got
books
one
sprout little legs
companion.
in the night.
And this time I'm planning to take the other ones.
What do you think you're doing?
I thought I was allowed to read them. Ah, I can just read everything besides Red Examination? That's confusing.
Kejdenor.
Yeah,
Brief history.
let's just take it.
Still hasn't been returned. Celeron will have to pay yet another fine.
Rats, vermin, plague, nuisance. They go by many names, though none convey the full extent of their repulsiveness. These vile creatures carry disease, eat through food stores, and leave their filthy droppings wherever they please. While it is possible to off these plague bearers using steel or arrows, the beasts often prove too swift and sneaky to be destroyed by brute force. But rat's gluttony is unconditional hunger, may always be exploited. Cheese, delicious, poisonous cheese, placed near a rat's hideout will be taken by filthy thief unquestioned. Should you lack a suitable poison, simply crush a fly agaric mushroom and work it into a piece of cheese to produce a most potent gift for your vermin friends. I wonder if that ever gets relevant.
Princess Buttercup with the
I played it with a
blushing
friend of mine,
bottom.
it's been enjoyable.
Yeah,
It's really nice that you can do
Esmeralda
that.
does have a propensity for all things naughty,
Did you
hasn't
play the
she?
second one? Or Baldur's Gate 3? The Philosophy of Death. It sounds kind of similar to one book you can find in Baldur's Gate 3. Let us briefly discuss life and death, the great opposites, the great equals. Death is greater than life, so saith the priest, for in death comes the God just reward. But if this be true, whether that reward shall be the solace of heaven or the agony of hell is decided during one's lifetime, and therefore life is much greater than death. It is the decision maker. And what of those who care not for the gods, who question the afterlife, the existence of deities? Life's life's own goal, they say, a wise sentiment I echo, and that even priests would do well to heed. But oh, how often does doubt assail these revelers of life? How often does fear approach with the creeping of the shadows? So great becomes the looming horror that death becomes larger than life, and death becomes the greater force. Forget the promise of gods, I say, but defy the fear of oblivion as well. For only if life is and death become each other equals can philosophy of death become one of life. Death is the instigator of faith and fear, but only if you let it be so. If you can gaze into its obsidian eyes, know it is the be-all and the end-all, but fear neither, then shall you have reached the shores of wisdom. So saith Nemrus. Now, playing the Original Sin, then 2, then Baldur's Gate 3. That sounds like a good plan. Enjoy it, those games are really nice.
Celeron will have to pay yet another fine.
Fun with flutes. If you've ever tried consuming a Divinity mushroom, you know full well what manner of effect it will have. Most Rivellonian mushrooms have some sort of effect on the human body, and their essence can be squeezed into potions to enhance their effects. Combining mushroom-based potions has similar effects. I actually started streaming with Original Sin 2. It's like, if I had to decide on a favorite game, it would be that one. The String Enthusiast. Special arrows are the milk and butter of the more experienced marksman. First, the crafty ranger makes his own arrowheads from the teeth of the fallen. That sounds metal. The special property of these arrowheads, particularly when combined with potions, is not to be underestimated. So many books to read. A Pirate's Life. Oh boy. The book's tight binding belies its age. Bits of crumbling pages stick to your fingers as you turn each page. A Pirate's Life. Shipmate Focusson Diary. Whoever came up with the idea to go hunting for treasure in Cyseal should be near-hold. I cared not for diaries before we ended up in this accursed place. As I fear, the end is nigh, I feel obliged to warn my fellow pirates. Avoid Cyseal. As sunny as its beaches are, as golden as the sun shines, its cobblestone roads, equally corrupt is this hellhole. There are laws for everything in Cyseal, and every law contradicts the other. At the beginning we tried to work alongside the system for some time, better to ease down the local suspicions, you see. But I fear every trader that sets foot in Cyseal must become a pirate, or an outlaw, whether they realize it or not. There are taxes on docking a ship, there are taxes on owning a ship, there are taxes on docking without a ship, there are taxes on boarding and unboarding the ship, but one cannot unboard without having boarded in Cyseal first. Why? What does it even mean? There are taxes on entering the tavern if you're not a Cysealian, and there's a law against entering the tavern if you ain't a Cysealian. Unaware, you enter, pay the tax, and then get thrown in jail when the locals realize your anchor set elsewhere. But that's not the worst part. We came here looking for treasure. There's a skull-shaped cave on the beach, and the captain is certain there's pirate's bounty within. We have sent out a dozen of our best men for a fortnight ago, but they've yet to return. The rumor amongst our men is that the cave is haunted. Hogwash. The rest of us investigate tomorrow, if our crew has not returned. Then it's goodbye, Cyseal.
Teleron will have to pay yet another fine.
Anywho, I'm head to bed now. You have yourself a good stream. Please stay safe and know that your content is appreciated. Thanks, same to you. Have a good night, and thanks for visiting. And thanks for all the followers.
A brief history of sorcery still hasn't been returned.
Cracking up a crowd, the definitive guide. And it added something to the log. It seems like it's something to do with a quest. Much like making love, comedy requires equal parts passion and delivery. Fever for the stages is not enough. No, no. The truly successful comedian will study the details of the craft through countless long, lonely nights in preparation for his rendezvous with the audience. Compiled within this volume are some of Rivellon's finest funnies, enough to make a granite statue grin. During a dwarven funeral, the bearers of the casket accidentally bump into a wall and hear a faint moan. They open the casket and find out that the dwarven woman inside is actually alive. The entire funeral party rejoices, and a joyful tear springs into her husband's eye. The dwarven lady lives for 10 more years and then dies. There's another funeral for her. At the end of the service, the bearers carry out the casket. As they are walking out, the husband cries out, "Watch out for the wall!" An elf and an orc show up in the Hall of Echoes at the same time. The orc says he froze to death, and the elf says he died of a heart attack. "How did that happen?" asked the orc. The elf replied, "Well, I came home and thought I heard my wife in bed with someone else, but when I saved the house, I couldn't find anybody. I was so strict. With remorse for wrongly accusing my life of infidelity, I had a heart attack and died on the spot." "Jeez," said the orc. "If you'd opened the icebox, we'd both be alive right now." Oh boy. Every 10 years, the Elvenwood priest and the High Monastery are allowed to break their vow of silence to speak 2 words. 10 years go by, and it's one priest's first chance. He thinks for a second before saying, "Food bad." 10 years later, he says, "Bad heart." It's a big day. A decade later, he gives the head priest a long stare and says, "I quit." "I'm not surprised," the Elven High Priest says. "You've been complaining ever since you got here." They are so stupid. I love them.
Striking it rich!
I wonder what it's going to be useful for. A quest called Name Headless Nick. More fun with fluids. Druidna's qualities are many and well documented. For an adventurer, it isn't wise to consume it in the thick of the battle, though recreational use is widely accepted among liberal circles. Knowledge significantly less widespread, however, is that Druidna is best consumed within a flask, as the bottling process often brings out its finest features. Ah, it gives poison resistance. Okay.
Volume 1, Volume 2. Where's the...
I think we looked at most of the books.
Sometimes I think these books sprout little
That
legs in
one.
the night.
Oops. Hehe.
That doesn't belong to us, you know.
I thought we just agreed the seating is fine.
We're source hunters. We should be able to access any of the resources we need or want while we're on the job.
Right so.
Sorcery still hasn't been returned.
Well put.
Rivellon will have-
Hunting out source is no easy job, and we need all the help we can get our sticky fingers on.
Yeah, see... Did I read you? Nope. The Adventurer's Field Guide. Any old kitchen knife can be carved into a deadly dagger after the right amount of time on my anvil. That was 4, and here we have even 5. The Adventurer's Field Guide. Now, I'm not a lumberjack, but I can get a good strong stick out of any log with my trusty axe when I'm in need of one. Ah, we've read that one. He who smells 7. Did you know the great shoemaker, Master Cobble, God rest his soul, used to be a swordsmith? Until his dying day, he was still using the horn and shoulder of his anvil to make shoes. Well, boots and metal greaves, but still, talk about slicing bread with an axe. Cyseal Genesis a play.
Place this book here.
This excerpt from the traditional drama Genesis of Cyseal is commonly performed in the local theatre. Most Cysealians, and even a few foreigners, are amply familiar with the tale and refuse to tolerate deviation from the script most known by heart. The story goes that two adventurers, lovers too, Cyrus and Celia, I guess, sailed west from Pharaoh, knowing not whether they would find land on the other side. They took with them sufficient provisions for 5 months of travel, but only during the last week of 6th month did they land upon the land they would come to call Cyseal. Celia: enough, Cyrus. I can't take another moment aboard this daft barge. I'm starving and I'm sick. Will we find no safe refuge from our travails? Cyrus: my gods, could it be there? Look. Celia: what is it? Are we out of fresh water? Is there a leak in the hull? Cyrus: look, Seal, there, beyond the mist. It's land. Land, my sweet, land at last. And we shall call it Cyseal. Names combined. It's their shipping name.
Striking it rich!
Place this book here. A volume of poetry among novels. Rack.
Right.
Lay him.